The other case which you mention in your book is also BMW murder case. Murder, क्या कहूँ उसको?
I mean, yes. I mean, it was a murder. It was
Yeah, golf links, Lodi Road, defense colony. You're talking about.
You have see, you have loosely mentioned the word murder, isn't it? Without perhaps understanding.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to, but I am supposed to understand the meaning of the term. See, this is a case where during the entire trial process or investigation process, three types of situations. You know, if somebody is killed and there is a investigation going on, somebody dies, unnatural death. A natural death could be a suicide, but if it happens to be a homicide, if it happens to be somebody being killed by somebody, three situations. Number one, it's a murder. Number two, it is culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Number three, it's a death on account of negligence. Okay, that results in somebody's dying. You know, these are three situations. Let me inform you. This particular case, if you read my book, is more about, it's more of a narration of legal fights that went on.
Yeah.
All the three situations were discussed by the courts in greatest detail possible.
So you're Joint Commissioner of South Delhi at that time. And again, it is this early morning phone call that happens. आपको सब कुछ early morning phone calls ही आती हैं.
या तो छुट्टियों में आती है. छुट्टियों में प्रयास was created in 1988, which I'll talk about it later.
Yes.
It was a holiday.
We'll get to that.
It was a fire. It was an incident or a crisis that created prayas. In this case, particularly, again, as you said, Mr. V.N. Singh, wonderful man, my commissioner of police, he was there and I was there. In the morning, again, I get a call. And of course, my wife, because that time these ringing telephone is there. So there one gets the call and they said that there is a very horrifying kind of accident which has taken place. They told accident or whatever. Then it wasn't known how it happened. I said, all right, I'll come. And it's not far away. Lodi Road is not far away from Chanakyapuri. I thought I will not inform the police commissioner, but then I thought, let's inform. I said that this kind of thing has happened, sir.
ये profile से आप समझ गए कि it is in a affluent area.
In one particular, a car comes in breakneck speed, a high-powered vehicle comes in BMW, comes in breakneck speed, hits a police picket, and then 4 policemen on the spot, they are hit, and 3 members of public, they are hit. And out of these 7 people, 6 dies on the spot and their bodies, dismembered bodies all over the place. And then 1 person is taken to hospital, who of course subsequently, he survives. And incidentally, that character turned terribly hostile ultimately. I mean, can people, it's such a saga of human psyche.
But we must also go back to this was an era जहाँ पे इस शहर में इतने BMWs नहीं होते थे.
Correct.
So it was a big thing कि BMW murder case. Why we say this again and again is like maybe today saying a Lamborghini or something. मतलब वो भी नहीं बोल सकते आज इतने Lamborghinis आ गए हैं शहर में. But at that time it was a big story. This thing happens. But
so they came. I mean, it came. It was again the result of a late night party. And this character Sanjeev Nanda, he was not in India. He was studying in USA or something, and he had come on a leave or something, the holidays, and he was here. And this vehicle was not lying with him; it was lying with his sister. And the vehicle he had
Prithviraj Road mein.
That's correct. And he came from a very, very rich family, very important family.
Explain this Nanda family to me before we go to that incident.
General Nanda was
Admiral Nanda.
Admiral Nanda was a celebrated naval officer, very celebrated, respected, and let me say he maintained his dignity in this case also. He maintains dignity. Yes, he did. I would like to give him, I'll like to compliment him because they produced him. We got him straightway again, like, unlike Manu Sharma escaped, but we got this fellow. So what happened that in the night, they were coming with friends, and when they, Lodi Road, as they entered, and as they were going ahead, so this police picket was there. And these persons were going to railway station not far away from there. And there they came at a breakneck speed, hit the picket, entire picket and the persons present on the picket, 7 persons. And then as it happened, and finally we found that they not only hit and they went ahead, they took it back. And bodies, dead and alive kind of people were lying there, and they brought it back, and some got crushed beneath. And it was said also, it was felt. They talked to each other and it was felt that yes,
We have gone over a
probably,
body.
yes, they have gone over the body and maybe some bodies inside also. They did not bother and they ran away. But on the spot, as it happened, on the spot, the broken piece of this thing, number plate was left, some other parts of thing was left, and the telltale signs, some oil was leaking, all that was there. So let me go back to my story, because when I learnt about it, I said, let's go to the spot. So, and I told police commissioner. So I went there. By that time, this story had been completed. By the time we went and saw the spot and we went to police station, we sat there. Within our presence, these people were arrested already. It was so fast. It was a brilliant investigation, let me tell you. Very rare kind of investigation. What happened that when these items were lying there, a young sub-inspector who was a rookie actually, I call him because he wasn't so experienced a person. He came in the spot and he very carefully examined the scene of crime, very carefully photographed and recorded it. And there was an inspector from the police control room, because police control room vehicles, generally they came on the spot, so many of them. And they found the oil leaking and the oil trail was there going like this, you know. And the oil trail was followed by them, and as you have seen the place, you go straight towards Safdarjung tomb and then take a U-turn from there, and then you have got Golfing Road.
Yeah.
And they arrived the house where the vehicle was there. And the vehicle had been parked there in the friend's house, not taken to their home. And when these policemen came and they peeped inside, because there was a gap in the gate, and they found the vehicle was being cleaned actually.
Yeah.
The vehicle was being cleaned. And then so the case was actually worked out.
Prima facie, it is like,
yes.
see the...
And immediately after that, they went up and they talked to the family members and they said, ki bhai yahan nahi hai, wo falani jagah pe hai, the other place, the other person who was with them. And then by about 8:39 in the morning we got, and they were still, he was sozzled, he was not yet normal, he had taken so much of alcohol. And then he was taken to hospital for examination, all that stuff. So this was, if I call
as you said, open and shut case.
I mean, I didn't commit a crime.
You said it.
Lot of people told me कि भाई आप ये open and shut क्यों बार-बार कहते हो? हमने इसलिए कहते हैं कि है.
Because newspapers had that as the headline also.
That's correct.
That Amod Khan says that it's open and shut case.
That's correct. So because everything was in place and we were able to arrest the persons, we were able to collect graphic evidence, this entire thing was tracked down, no issues at all. So the case was really worked out. It happened. But the problem is eyewitness. Because in all cases, you look for eyewitness. In this case, there was this thing, petrol pump station was there. And there one person was there. Now that person was there, and when he heard this sound, then he came out. He was an eyewitness to that extent.
Yeah.
But then when he spoke to his boss, that's the owner of petrol pump, and that person gave a call to police control room also. All that happened. And that person says that he was so scared that he went back inside. That's what he says. Okay. Police control room vehicles came on the spot. That went on and on. But the real story is that Pramod Kulkarni.
Yes.
The real story of the case, because all these things were very, very clear and simple.
Sunil Kulkarni.
Sunil Kulkarni. I'm sorry, with the passage of time.
That's all right. That's all right.
So
मतलब वो क्या अजीबो गरीब character है वो. He's comical also at times, and he's diabolic at times. He's a devil completely. कभी कुछ मतलब. But you आपने तो बेनकाब किया उसको
शुरू से ही किया. ऐसा था कि one of my colleagues, Pradeep Srivastava, was Deputy Commissioner of Police. He was then officiating there. Now, he contacted Pradeep, and then suddenly, after a couple of days, when the case was going on, and we were really in lookout for some eyewitness or somebody who saw the incident taking place, and nobody was to be found, because it was in the wee hours of the morning, it was very dark and very cold, and at that point of time, difficult to find anybody. Now, this fellow talks to Pradeep and others, and because my name used to come in media very often, he came to me in my office. He waited outside for quite some time, because I was told already that a character like him is coming, and he claims that he was on the spot, he was an eyewitness, he saw things happening, and then he went away because he could not bear that situation, kind of thing.
Where did he go? Bombay.
He said not Bombay. Bombay, he had a home in Bombay.
Huh.
He's at large, I hope you know. He's absconding. I appeared in the court also for this case. The case is going on about this character even now because he's still not found out. He is somewhere, he escaped. So he said, whatever he said. So Pundir, one of my staff officer, who was very experienced policeman, I said, Pundir, I have my doubts. Even without meeting him, I said, Pundir, I have my doubts. Keep him waiting for some time. Let him not feel important. So Pundir said कि अच्छा तुम बैठो अभी साहब थोड़े busy हैं तुमसे बात हो गया. I did not show any anxiety or kind of कि इसको हम बुला लें और बात कर लें. He waited. When he started telling his story, his body language, his postures and all, I thought he is a cheat. Let me inform you. I straightway thought that he is not a witness. He is giving a wrong picture, but he was able to convince everybody. तो उसके बाद ये वहाँ पे इसने जो कहानी वहानी कही तो but then we could not have told him because somebody is coming and presenting himself as an eyewitness in a case where there is no eyewitness. You cannot reject that person at that stage. You understand? See, the prosecution under the law has the privilege to examine or not to examine a witness. We decided subsequently that we shall not examine this man as a witness. As you know that it was the judge who
Insisted.
got him as a court witness. You know, there are three types of witnesses: prosecution witness, defense witness, and court witness. He was a court witness. They just got him as a witness of the court much later. So this fellow was there, and then he came. So Pradeep, I told Pradeep कि भाई ऐसा है कि इसको तुम भेजो, पता करो, इसका statement record कराओ. Let him give his statement as required under the law. We had a lady SHO that time who was Lodi Road Police Station. She was the SHO investigating officer. And she looked after him well. She provided for him कि भाग ना जाए यहाँ वहाँ ठहरने का इंतजाम किया. He took full advantage of everything and then made a statement. And that statement was not bad to start with. He kept on changing his statement. And he actually wanted to make maximum money out of it or maximum take advantage of it. That is one part of it. And before that, he was known to two of the very senior most lawyers of Delhi who got destroyed in this case. You know very well.
Yeah.
These two very senior advocates of Delhi.
नहीं, you mention it in your book, तो आप नाम ही दे लीजिए.
I have R.K. Anand and Mr. Khan. So these two lawyers, Mr. Khan also offered himself that he wanted to be a lawyer in this case. He offered to me. He offered to Pradeep also. And then we took him. And actually he did not charge any money for that. And perhaps we should not have decided to keep him. For the simple reason that R.K. Anand and Khan used to be very close friends.
Yeah.
वो सारे हम प्याला थे, दोस्ती थी, साथ बैठना, गपशप करना, वो सारी चीज़ थी. वो था, that was there, which all came later.
वो sting operation में पता लगा.
Correct. The sting and NDTV had a great time. And NDTV, now this fellow contacted NDTV. So he was working on...
That is where he came across as a clown.
That's correct. See, he was operating at various levels. Number one, he was in regular contact with the police officer taking advantage. Number two, he was already very close with R.K. Anand and he had stayed in his house, R.K. Anand's house in Shimla. There is a very beautiful house he had.
Yeah.
A complete hill is to himself. And then there he stayed and cheated him, R.K. Anand, because he became his son. He acquired some kind of driving license or whatever which was false, given a false address. So R.K. Anand was finished because of him, you understand. And then he tried to be friendly and he contacted Khan on the other side. On the third side, he contacted NDTV. And he contacted NDTV and got the entire operation, sting operation. He was...
जो sub judice case था.
Correct.
Media trial हो गया फिर वो. मतलब he goes on media.
Yes.
And then that also became a case.
See what happened.
Harish Salve represented NDTV.
See, that's correct.
It was like...
In NDTV, he contacted that girl. I'm just forgetting her name. And
Poonam.
Poonam, that's correct. Poonam Agrawal. So Poonam Agrawal, a smart girl. I mean, I talked to her later also because In Kulkarni's case, Poonam is also supposed to appear sometime in the court. I am also supposed to appear. The case is going on. Kulkarni is at large. He must be enjoying himself.
Dubai mein kahin
Maybe
baitha
watch
hoga.
this interview also wherever he is. Now, so Kulkarni contacted him. He wanted to get the maximum mileage out of it in terms of money, in terms of everything. And can you imagine? He is getting Anand
Prime
and
time
Khan,
also and
hooked
Khan
on,
and
hooked on
everything.
and everything else.
और वो 5-star होटलों में रह रहा था. He was living king life.
It's a fact. It's a fact that he was getting money from all over and he was enjoying his
But
life.
then, if he's living like that, isn't that evidence itself that the man comes out of nowhere, high fly life lead kar raha hai? Where is the money coming from? Is there nobody chasing the money
But then
trail?
the problem is that I mean, that's another way one can describe the system collapsing. Such a person should have been rejected straightway,
Yeah.
which I did. Let me inform you. He went to High Court when he was sitting with us. One day, what happened that he was sitting with me and I was getting a call from Delhi High Court that in Delhi High Court he got habeas corpus filed. He got a habeas corpus filed against us that we are forcibly keeping him. That is one part of it. The third part is that there was a case against him in Bombay and the Bombay police came to Delhi and they wanted to arrest him, the Bombay police. And the entire group of lawyers led by another senior lawyer who was very close to him. So there was a big drama in Patiala House Court, outside Patiala House Court. Because the Bombay police officers came along with Delhi police officers, they wanted to catch him because he was in Patiala House Court and he was protected by the lawyers and there was a big bloody jhagda on the road near India Gate and then it went on and on. He escaped along with them. And this case became a very important issue in the judiciary. And then what happened that the concerned judge asked me, because I was Joint Commissioner of Police, to conduct an inquiry. I conducted a thorough inquiry. Let me inform you how the documents are there. I conducted thorough inquiry. I established everything in my personal inquiry. I submitted a report to the court, to that court where these incidents have taken place and the case was also going on. The judge did not do anything with that report. It was lying. You know what happened? Finally, when the Supreme Court decided the case, and the matter of NDTV, etc., was taken up by the Supreme Court in another case, they looked into my report because the entire damn file goes to Supreme Court when the matter is at that level. They talked a lot about my report and they talked a lot about Kulkarni's conduct and all that. They talked a lot about media's role in it. So Supreme Court had to define the role of the media, the role of the police, the role of the court and the role of Kulkarni, and my report also being in the midst. The point I am trying to make, that if something has come on record and some evidence is there, it should be given a sense of finality without getting influenced. The court or the judges got influenced by the lawyers. If they had not been influenced by the lawyers, number one, and secondly, if they had not been cheated by this character, they would not have examined him. The fellow could have been pinned down right there. So NDTV was taken for a ride also, in my opinion. The courts were taken for a ride. Part of police were taken for a ride. A strange character.
Chasing a sexy story. That's what I feel.
It's
that
strange.
it had all the masala to it, what he was doing.
That's correct.
But what happened to the BMW? वो truck कैसे बन गया?
ये तो the main witness who got injured, when he was examined in the case, because he was the most important witness who gets injured and almost died, that person, and became invalid for life practically. He suddenly tells that it was a truck. Now he converts the BMW into a truck. What a nonsense. But he does it. Obviously he was paid. Is there any doubt to anybody that he was not paid? He was paid to speak like that. Anyway, the courts fortunately did not accept this nonsense. And the only difference, the successive courts, nobody acquitted him as such. But the level of criminality or culpability was to be defined. And then finally it was believed that it could be a case of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. That is 304A then. 304.
But वो जब reverse करके चले जाते फिर वो homicide नहीं है क्या?
It should be. It could be. It's a homicide. Now you understand there
culpable homicide नहीं है.
Culpable homicide not amounting to
not
murder.
amounting to murder.
That's the point. There are three things in a crime. See, there is something called motive, there is something called intention, and there is something called act. And there is a word called mens rea, if you have heard it.
Yeah.
It's a Latin
Correct.
expression,
Yeah.
state of mind. Now, all these things combine to give the crime a particular shape in the eyes of law. So, these three types of situations were discussed in abundance in the various courts, starting from the Sessions Court up to the highest Supreme Court. Something to read, really.
Yeah, which you talk. Actually, it's the title of one of the chapters.
Salman Khan's case was discussed. Other cases were discussed
Yeah.
because they were all in the same variety.
Yeah.
Same variety. And now, let me inform you, that's very important.
Because BMW got a very bad reputation. एक तो वो सलमान खान केस और वो ये दिल्ली वाला
That's
केस. So I remember everybody saying कुछ भी ले लो BMW में दो. It took a lot of time for BMW to change its
That's correct.
image in this country, I think. But there's one chapter in which you talk khaki and coat taken for a ride. I think that should have been probably the headline of the book or the masthead, because you, of course, were talking about a different thing ki wo, when they went away and things like that. But the thing is that when khaki and coat is taken for a ride for 10 years in this case.
Yes.
For 10 years, a open and shut case, उस पे दरवाजे खुलते ही रहते हैं. Open and shut क्या है ये तो? मतलब more doors come up, more windows come up, and the guy gets away. It takes a long time.
No, because see, as I say, and I very strongly argue on that point. See, India's criminal justice system, which is based on these laws, three laws, the basic laws, CRPC, IPC, Evidence Act, now changed into the names I can't recall readily,
Yeah.
and local special laws which are there. Now, all these laws are a product of, as you know, 1857, First War of Independence.
Yeah.
1860 was IPC, 1861 was Police Act. So, even now, the changes are good. Some changes are really good. For example, the method of collecting evidence or video recording,
Yeah.
etc., are very good. But then the character of these laws remain unchanged.
Yeah.
And these laws are actually alien to the people's mind. They don't understand. Who understands? Do you understand?
Yeah, no,
I am telling
I get
that
that.
even the judges don't understand the laws.
Complex.
Why is the need to keep on interpreting laws endlessly? We should be very plain and simple. So basically, in this entire process of laws, as Justice Chandrachud made a statement which I quote many a times. Sometime back, while he was Chief Justice, he made a statement that the laws not necessarily lead to justice.
Yeah.
Then what are they used for? If the laws can't lead to justice, as if justice is something which is a different thing, justice in a very technical sense, and laws in a very different sense.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.